Okay, we're ready.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The May 1st, 2025 meeting of the Committee on Finance and Administrative Services is now called to order. Will the Chief Advisor please call the roll?
Chair Nukas? Here. Vice Chair Hatch?
Present.
Trustee Lee?
Present.
Trustee Patterson, Morangi Patterson?
Present.
Student Trustee Igunan?
Do we have a quorum, Chief Advisor?
Yes, we do have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. As the Chief Advisor has just noted, we do have a quorum. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. President Ordis, thank you on behalf of the committee for opening the college for our purposes today. I would also like to thank Chair Nukas, Trustee Lee, and a new member of our board, as well as our new student trustee, Degunan, for joining us today. Did I say it wrong? I'm sorry. Dugeno. Degeno.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you. Degeno, thank you for joining us today, our new student trustee. At this time, CFO Maribel Rodriguez, please proceed with your remarks.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hatch. Good afternoon, Chair Nukas, trustees, chancellor, colleagues, faculty, and students. I would like to welcome you to the May 1st, 2025 meeting of the City College's Board Finance and Administrative Services Committee. I would like to first welcome our new members of the board, Trustee Jeribu Lee and Trustee Kathy Morangi Patterson, as well as student trustee Degenin. Hopefully I got that right. We will also hear from Dulce Nijakovsky, Internal Audit Director, who will be presenting an update on the district's internal audit department, including the results of a recently completed risk assessment and a preview of the internal audit plan for FY26 and FY 2027. And lastly, congratulations to all of our graduates and the faculty and staff that helped them reach their goals. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you this coming Saturday. With that, I turn it back over to Vice Chair Hatch. Thank you.
Thank you, CFO Rodriguez. We'll now have a presentation of the internal audit, the Director of Internal Audit, our Director, Nijakovsky. Please proceed with your presentation.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Salgado, board members, college presidents, and management. I'm Dulce Nijakovsky, the new Internal Audit Director. Today, I will present the internal audit update for May 2025. On our agenda is our department background, the new global internal audit standards, the risk assessment overview and results, and internal audit plan. Our department background, our core values include integrity, objectivity, competency, confidentiality, and communication. My team members are myself, Christine Ann, Audit Supervisor, Casey Croft, and Senior Internal Auditor. Today I would give a little overview on the new global internal audit standards and a discussion of essential conditions.
Dulce, could you just speak a little closer into the mic?
Yep.
To make sure we can hear you well. Thank you.
Of course. In January of this year, the new global internal audit standards went into effect. The standards are broken down into 5 domains, 15 principles, and 53 standards. Domain 1 includes the purpose of internal auditing with the following statement. Internal auditing strengthens the organization's ability to create, protect, and sustain value by providing the board and management with independent, risk-based, objective assurance, advice, insight, and foresight. The new internal global audit standards essential conditions governing the internal audit function includes 3 principles, 9 standards that focus on governance of the internal audit function, as well as the essential conditions and responsibilities for the board. Today's discussion will focus on portions that is applicable to boards only. Principle 6 is called authorized by the board. It includes 3 standards, 6.1 internal audit mandate, 6.2 internal audit charter, and 6.3 board and management support. These 3 standards state that the that the board determines the appropriate authority, role, responsibilities of internal audit. They improve the internal audit charter, budget, resource plan, and ensure that the internal audit director reports to a level that allows internal audit to fulfill its mandate. Champion the internal audit function, specify that internal audit should have unrestricted access, and inquire whether any restrictions exist that limit internal audit's ability to carry out its responsibilities. Principle 7, position independently, includes 2 standards: organizational independence and chief audit executive qualifications. These 2 standards state that the board should establish a direct reporting relationship with the IA director, should authorize the appointment and removal of the director, engage with senior management to appoint a qualified and competent director, and provide input to support the internal audit performance evaluation and remuneration. Additionally, they should approve the IA director roles and responsibilities beyond the scope of internal auditing if applicable. And lastly, Principle 8, overseen by the board, includes 4 standards that talk about board interaction, resources, quality, and external quality assessment review. These state that the board should provide its perspective on organizational strategies, objectives, and risks to assist internal audit determine its priorities, set expectations for frequency of communications, collaborate with senior management to ensure that the internal audit has sufficient resources, and approved internal audit performance objectives. Next slide. This is the internal audit strategic plan as required by Principle 9. Our first objective is assurance delivery, enhance internal audit effectiveness, quality, and value by creating an internal audit charter, developing risk-based audit plan, creating an internal audit operations manual, establishing a quality assurance and improvement program, implementing the use of internal audit software, and commissioning an external quality assessment review. Objective 2, stakeholder management, obtain feedback from stakeholders on valuable performance metrics, proactively engage City College leaders to understand their needs in a more inclusive risk assessment process. And lastly, increase collaboration with second-line roles such as finance, compliance, EEO, OIG, and cybersecurity for a unified risk assessment approach. And objective 3 is team development, increase professional development opportunities, and improve competencies of the team by providing annual training development opportunities and encouraging staff participation in certification programs. Risk assessment overview and results. The primary objectives of the risk assessment was to provide management and the board with insights on key risks and opportunities as part of an overall risk management process, as well as assist internal audit in creating a risk-based audit plan for the next 2 fiscal years. As part of the risk assessment, we inspected documents, analyzed survey results, conducted interviews, consolidated risk from survey and interviews into sub-risks, then facilitated risk ranking by CCC executives, and then prioritized top risks to be used in creation of an internal audit plan. This is the risk assessment heat map. These were the 10 key risks identified through the risk assessment process, which were then ranked by CCC executives for risk impact and likelihood. The top 2 risks, as you can see, were for cybersecurity, which includes potential risk of ineffective safeguards to protect student employee data, followed by safety and security, which includes the potential risk of inadequate or ineffective processes to keep students safe while on our facilities or participating in CCC events. And the last top 3 risk was political landscape, which includes potential risk posed by regulatory changes at the federal level. Lastly, this is our internal audit plan for the next 2 fiscal years, fiscal 26 and 27. Both years will include campus audits. In addition, we will review campus and student safety, employee leave, workers' compensation, dual credit early college, grants management, specialized program accreditation compliance, and an IT general control cybersecurity review. This two-year internal audit plan, including campus audits, which cover a large majority of campus operations, will address about 60% of the sub-risk compiled during the risk assessment. The remaining 40 will be covered by a watch list, which will include periodic check-ins with management. And this is it. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Trustee Hatch?
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hatch. I just wanted to, thank Dulce and the team for the important work that they do in internal audit. Internal audit is extremely important to this institution. We take very much a continuous improvement approach in everything we do. We know that every day we can do better than yesterday, right? And so the internal audits of our campuses, our procedures, the different programs that we're doing, they find out where we're doing well and where we can improve. And it's deeply appreciated. That discipline over many, many years, I know derives incredible benefit, directly to our students. And for those who don't know, Dulce was at City Colleges. I like to point out, those leaders that leave and come back home, right? She left for a while, and when the opening and internal audit came through, she came right back because, this is an environment that does value greatly the function of internal audit to the betterment, of the institution. And so I thank you, Dulce, but also the Board of Trustees. There's a partnership here between myself as the executive of the institution and the Board of Trustees as it relates to internal audit. And so I want to thank the Board of Trustees, for prioritizing, internal audit and internal audit function. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Just want to ask, before you leave.
Yes.
You mentioned the security risk, if you can explore that a little more, and then the cybersecurity piece as well. Was it just how severe those risks might be, how vulnerable are we, and then just maybe a little more about how that's going to be addressed?
Yeah, so those two topics came up during the risk assessment when we spoke to executives and also through the survey. I wouldn't say that we're at great vulnerability, but our campuses are located within the communities. We have to just make sure that we have appropriate processes in place to keep our students safe, and that will be the point of our review, just to make sure that everything is documented and we are in compliance with whatever standards are out there for safety and security. And then for cybersecurity, there are actually new internal audit standards that came out for cybersecurity, because right now it's the #1 risk for all organizations globally. So it's just something that always comes up, in the risk assessment, and we want to make sure that we do a cybersecurity audit probably in fiscal 27, and we're going to hire a subject matter expert to help us in that review.
All right, thank you, Director Nijakowski,
Thank you.
for your report. At this time, we'll review the board reports to be considered during the May regular board meeting, which will take place later this afternoon at 2 p.m. Presenters, please proceed one after the other, briefly pausing to give the trustees an opportunity to ask any questions they may have about the item being presented. Will the Senior Assistant Board Liaison please proceed with the review of the board reports?
Thank you, Vice Chair Hatch. We will begin with resolutions. Resolution 1.00 will be reviewed by VC Anthony. .01 will be reviewed by Provost Potter. 1.02 will be reviewed by President Hollingsworth. And resolutions 1.03, the election of officers, 1.04 to appoint student board member, and 1.05 personnel matters will be reviewed and voted on at the regular board meeting.
Resolution 1.00 requests the board's authority to enter an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Chicago Department of Fleet and Facility Management. 2FM will provide fuel, vehicle preventive maintenance, vehicle repairs, and emergency road services district-wide for the period of July 2nd, 2025 through June 30, 2028, at a total cost not to exceed $750,000, with one option to renew for an additional 2-year period.
Resolution 1.01 amends Board Report 35390 from the February 2025 board meeting, which set tuition for credit and pre-credit programs at city colleges. This amendment provides further clarification that 2 specific programs, overhead electrical line worker and gas utility worker programs at Dawson Technical Institute, will henceforth charge the per credit hour rates spelled forth in the resolution that apply to all non-specialized programs.
Resolution 1.02 seeks the board's approval to authorize an intergovernmental agreement with the Chicago Police Department to provide support and funding for the Olive Harvey College Criminal Justice 1-year and out Associate and Applied Science degree program. The Chicago Police Department and Olive Harvey College hereby agree to terms set forth where candidates will complete the Criminal Justice Associate of Applied Sciences degree. The AAS in criminal justice equips students with the knowledge, skills, and abilities relative to the competencies critical to receive a waiver from the Chicago Police Officer exam. Students who complete the AAS degree at OHC are prepared to enter the workforce in public police services. Once this agreement is executed, the Chicago Police Department will provide $20,000 to assist Olive Harvey College with special population marketing.
Thank you, everyone. CTO Dunning, please review Personnel Report 2.00.
Board Item 2.0 is a request to approve the May 2025 Personnel Report. There are 53 actions on this month's report. They include 22 new and rehires, 19 promotions, title, and salary changes, and 12 separations and retirement. This concludes this month's report.
Thank you. EVC Herrero, please review Item 3.00, the Resource Development Report.
Thank you. This month, we are reporting 7 grants awarded totaling $2,773,100 and 18 grants submitted totaling $10,794,541. There are no donations to report. Today, I will highlight 3 of the 7 awards referenced in the report. The district office has been awarded $1.9 million from the Department of Family Support Services to support Career Grow Chicago. Career Grow Chicago is an effort that was initiated in 2022 to support the needs of today's workforce through the expansion of apprenticeships and work-based learning training programs. Since its inception, 3,614 Chicago residents have been served. This funding represents carryover from a previous award and the addition of new funding to grow the program. The City Colleges of Chicago Foundation received an award from an anonymous private donor to support our implementation of the Chicago Roadmap 2.0. This project will support an innovative transfer pathways and degree planning program that will support students in their quest for bachelor's degree completion by allowing them to start on pathways at Chicago Public Schools, transfer to complete an associate degree at city colleges, and transfer to the University of Illinois Chicago as a junior in the program of study with 0 credit loss. Malcolm X College received $200,000 from the City Colleges of Chicago Foundation to support healthcare career pathways at Malcolm X. These funds were awarded by the Chicago Community Trust and will be used towards research, student experiences, and financial support for students. This completes the May Resource Development Report.
Thank you. We will now review the proposed agreements, which will proceed as follows. President Hollingsworth will review 4.00. President Janowski will review 4.01. Senior Vice President Roy Walker will review 4.02 through 4.05. Executive Director Lonnie Washington will review 4.06. VC Anthony will review 4.07 through 4.09. CFO Rodriguez will review 4.10. Provost Potter will review 4.12. President Will Walker will review 4.13 and 4.14. Compliance Officer Jones will review 4.15 and 4.16. And VC Arrington Jones will review 4.17.
Agreement 4.00 seeks the board's approval to execute an agreement with Aviation Institute of Maintenance for educational services for the period from May 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2027, at a total cost not to exceed $75,000. Students enrolled at AIM, in the AIM program through Olive Harvey College have the opportunity to become FAA certified aviation maintenance technicians while earning an associate's degree in aviation maintenance at City Colleges of Chicago. The OHC Aviation program has grown from 3 students when it first launched to 44 students currently enrolled. 6 students will be attending AIM this fall. Currently, 9 students are at AIM, and three of which will be graduating this spring. Starting salaries for aviation maintenance mechanics is $75,000 annually. With an estimated 50 students participating in this partnership program annually, this relationship benefits not only aspiring aviation professionals, but also the thriving aviation industry within Chicago.
Agreement 4.01. This is a request to authorize the execution of an agreement with the Society of Manufacturing Engineers for the Manufacturing Workforce Growth Imperative from the period beginning May 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2026, at a cost not to exceed $75,000. The Society of Manufacturing Engineers will provide industry-specific services to support the City Colleges of Chicago, Richard J. Daley College, and Wilbur Wright College with the objective of enhancing advanced manufacturing, program enrollment, and industry reach. These SME services include annual marketing research, program alignment, outreach and development, advisory support, and access to extensive e-learning resources.
Board Report 4.02 is a request for the board to authorize an agreement with the University of Illinois Chicago College of Medicine to provide program evaluation services for Malcolm X College's Opioid Impacted Family Support Program, OFIFSP, from May 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2028, at a total cost not to exceed $172,800. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services requires program evaluation as a stipulation to award. The UIC School of Medicine was one of the recommended and accepted organizations to provide program evaluation services. As a reminder, the Opioid Impacted Grant Program provides solutions to individuals and communities suffering from opioid addiction by training CHWs with specific skill sets to work in communities to combat opioid addiction. This program is grant funded and is exempt from NWBE requirements. This request supports the collaboration, excellence, and exceptional student experience strategic levers. Board Report 4.03 is a request for the board to authorize an agreement with CR-MRIG Company, also doing business as Academic Impressions, to provide higher education-specific training, resource, and professional development opportunities for faculty, staff, and administrators of Malcolm X College for the period of May 1st, 2025 through April 4th, 2026, at a total cost not to exceed $41,000. Academic Impressions has provided much-needed training and professional development services for employees of Malcolm X College that has helped to improve skill sets, improve our operating culture, and enhance our ability to improve student success. This program is grant-funded through our METAS grant and exceeds MBE requirements with 100% MBE representation. This program supports the collaboration, excellence, and exceptional student experience strategic levers. Board Report 4.04 is a request for the board to authorize an agreement with Pace Systems Incorporated to provide hardware and software, equipment, and services for Malcolm X College from May 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027, at a cost not to exceed $107,804.87. This agreement will allow the college access to the latest hardware and software technology to support our faculty, staff, and students in the commission of their duties of the completion of their courses or programs. This request exceeds MBE requirements with 93% MBE and meets WBE requirements with 7%. This program supports the excellence, exceptional student experience, and equity strategic levers. Board Report 4.05 requests authorization for Malcolm X College to pursue an agreement with CDW Services on a needed basis for the purchase of computer hardware technology, specialized security software, equipment and services, various software licensing products, and related services for use by Malcolm X from the periods of May 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027, at a total cost not to exceed $99,705.31. This will authorize Malcolm X to order a wide range of IT equipment, software, and services that are essential to supporting the technology needs of students, faculty, and staff that support the overall operations of the college. The IT products and related services will be purchased at the best available cost, which include manufacturer's discounts, educational software, and volume discount incentives.
Board Item 4.06 seeks the board's approval to enter into agreement with Zoco Technologies LLC for enterprise data warehouse and business intelligence solution from August 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2028, at a cost not exceeding $840,614.40. This platform enables standardized data analysis and visualization to support informed decision-making and actionable strategies. This will help reduce costs, uncover new program opportunities, streamline inefficient processes, boost enrollment, and ensure sufficient resources for student education. This vendor is exempt from district competitive bidding requirements pursuant to state law regulating purchases and delivery of data processing equipment, software, and services, and is compliant with the board-approved MBE WBE contract participation plan.
Agreement 4.07 requests the board's authority to exercise the final option to renew an agreement with Midwest Moving and Storage to provide moving and relocation services district-wide on an as-needed basis for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2027, for a total cost not to exceed $300,000. Agreement 4.08 requests the board's authority to execute an agreement with Delta Heating and Air Conditioning for HVAC, mechanical, and piping repair services district-wide on an as-needed basis for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2030, at a total cost not to exceed $6,250,000, with the option to renew for one additional 2-year period. Agreement 4.09 requests the board's authority to exercise the final option to renew an agreement with Mundo Electric Company to maintain and repair electrical systems district-wide on an as-needed basis for the period of July 7, 2025 through July 6, 2026, at a total cost not to exceed $1,500,000.
Agreement 4.10, we seek the board's approval for a renewal agreement with PFM Asset Management LLC to provide investment management services to manage our portfolios. The term of this agreement is from July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, with one remaining option to extend for an additional 1-year period at a total cost not to exceed $135,000. Thank you.
Item 4.12 seeks board approval for an agreement with IBM Corporation to create an immersive cybersecurity training platform, or a cyber range, from June 1st, 2025 to June 1st, 2028, with one option to renew for an additional 2-year term at a total cost not to exceed $764,250. The cyber range will offer hands-on cybersecurity training with experiences like live simulations of cyber attacks, exposure to an ever-growing catalog of state-of-the-art commercial learning content, that simulate cybersecurity scenarios of real-world complexity and expert support. IBM will provide tools, updates, and guidance to keep the program current and effective. And in addition to providing a state-of-the-art enhancement to our cybersecurity programs at City Colleges, the Cyber Range will also serve as a resource for upskilling local workers, thereby strengthening Chicago's cybersecurity workforce.
With item 4.13, Kennedy King College requests that the Board of Trustees authorize the renewal of an existing agreement with Cisco Food Service for the purchase of perishables, consumables, bakery goods, and specialty goods, along with specialized culinary equipment. The amendment will add an amount not to exceed $125,000 to the original term ending June 30th, 2025, and renew the agreement for the period beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2027, at a total cost not to exceed $1.2 million. This purchase will support instruction at Washburn Culinary and Hospitality Institute. And item 4.14 seeks the board's consent for Kennedy King College to enter into an agreement with Testa Produce Company for the purchase of fresh produce, specialty items, and full access to its Farm Logics program for the Washburn Culinary and Hospitality Institute in support of culinary instruction and catering, at a total cost not to exceed $500,000 for the period beginning May 1st, 2025 and ending April 30th, 2027.
Agreement 4.15 requests the board's authority to execute the final option to renew the agreement with Cannon Cochran Management Services Incorporated to provide third-party claims administration services and the management of the district's workers' compensation program for an additional one-year period from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, at a total cost not to exceed $600,000. Agreement 4.16 requests the board's authority to execute the final option to renew with Alliant Insurance Services Incorporated, formerly Mesero Insurance Services, to provide insurance brokerage services for an additional one-year period from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, at a total cost not to exceed $85,000.
Agreement 4.17 requests the board's authority to execute an agreement with Ask Reply, Inc., doing business as B2G Now, to provide software licenses. The term of the agreement shall commence no sooner than July 1, 2025, and run through June 30th, 2030, for a total cost not to exceed $132,729. This system allows for the management and reporting of participation plan commitments and allows the entry of payments for both primes and subcontractors on contracts to ensure compliance of MWBE goals. This agreement will cover the yearly license subscriptions.
Thank you all. We will now review purchases. VC Anthony will review 5.00 through 5.02. President Janoski will review 5.03 and 5.04.
Purchase 5.00 requests the board's authority for the monthly job order contractor construction projects to be performed by the listed contractors. Board Report 35179 authorized utilization of JOC as a construction delivery method to perform renovation services, deferred maintenance, and repairs. This month's report lists 2 projects for a total cost not to exceed $935,756.76. Purchase 5.01 requests the board's authority for the monthly low-voltage electrical job order contractor projects to be performed by the listed contractors. Board Report 35437 authorized the utilization of JOC as a delivery method for low-voltage electrical improvements, maintenance, and repairs. This month's report lists 4 projects for a total cost not to exceed $62,316.40. Purchase 5.02 requests the board approve and ratify the issuance of an emergency purchase order to Pacific Construction Services to provide emergency structural repairs to the Malcolm X College parking garage for a total cost not to exceed $400,000. Pacific Construction was awarded the contract as a result of a public bid and in accordance with Board Report 35179. This contract requires the approval of the Board of Trustees on projects with a value greater than $25,000. This emergency work provides the necessary structural supports to re-anchor portions of the facade to the building structure to ensure safe conditions.
5.03 is a request for the Board of Trustees to authorize a purchase order with TS Enterprise Associates doing business as Advanced Technology Consultants for the purchase of training equipment in the advanced manufacturing and data center operating programs from the period beginning May 1st, 2025, and ending April 31st, 2026, at a cost not to exceed $125,000. This proposal is for the purchase of advanced manufacturing training equipment to support hands-on training in high-demand and growing career fields. JBH Technologies will provide electric vehicle, EV, and engineering technology training equipment to enhance the advanced manufacturing EV and EV infrastructure training program at Daly College. This equipment will offer training capabilities in EV safety, EV technology, storage battery, electrical controls, and EV infrastructure, using equipment representative of actual commercial and industrial systems. 5.04. This is a request for the Board of Trustees to authorize the issuance of a purchase order with JBH Technologies Incorporated for the purchase of an electrical vehicle and training equipment from the period beginning May 1st, 2025, and ending April 31st, 2026, at a total cost not to exceed $175,000. This proposal is for the purchase of engineering technology training equipment to support hands-on training in advanced manufacturing and data center operator programs at Daly College. Advanced Technology Consultants will provide equipment that offers training capabilities in electrical controls and industrial and commercial mechanical cooling processes using systems representative of actual commercial and industrial equipment for hands-on training lab experiences.
Thank you. General Counsel Goen will review item 6.00, the payment of legal invoices at the regular board meeting. Vice Chair Hatch, pending no further questions, the review of board reports is concluded.
All right, are there any questions? Just want to ask Chancellor, I was just kind of looking at the MBE statements of participation. Is there any time that we tease out the African-American participation specifically?
We have done that analysis. Vice Chair David Anthony, this is the analysis of MBE, WBE, broken out by, race and ethnicity. We've done that for construction projects.
Yes, we did that on the JOC contract.
Yeah.
And I think Procurement Services also has done that with regard to overall MBE spending.
We also have the annual report.
We do. We have an
Right.
annual report that we submit, as well as a quarterly report.
Yeah.
So we do break that information out.
I will make sure.
So we can expect that.
You can
Yeah.
expect,
Yeah.
and the annual report is quite comprehensive. It breaks everything down. Usually comes in October.
Yes, we do it at least, each quarter we do it.
Yeah, but the annual report once a
The annual
year is in
report
the
is
fall.
once a year, that's correct. It is about October.
It's around October.
All right, thank you. Thank you
So,
very much.
yeah, thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Any more questions? All right, thank you all. May I have a motion to discharge the May 1st, 2025 minutes resolutions, excluding resolutions 1.03, election of officers, 1.04, to appoint student board member, and 1.05, personnel matters. These resolutions will be reviewed and voted on separately at the regular board meeting personnel report, resource development report, agreements excluding agreement 4.11, which will be voted on at the regular board meeting as well, purchases, legal invoices, including on today's committee agenda as part of the consent agenda to May 1st, 2025 regular board meeting. We'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, the motion is carried.
Just a second.
I'm gonna call the roll. Okay. All right, we'll vote by roll call. Senior Advisor,
Okay. Vice Chair Hatch,
affirmative.
Chair Nukas? Approve. Thank you.
All right, the motion is carried. Thank you. Since there's no further business to come before this committee today, may we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second. All right, we are adjourned until 2 p.m. for the regular board meeting. Thank you.